Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Hope you're all doing pretty well. Not a horrible day today, but I am feeling a little sick, so I decided not to have the webcam on today. Not to mention my office is kind of a mess right now because I'm preparing for all that plumbing work that I'm supposed to be having done for the rest of the week. But anyway, so I hope you can forgive me for that. It'll be back to normal hopefully in the next couple days. But yeah, I'll try to power through this stream. My voice might start giving out, so I might end it early, but I'll just think positive for now. But alright, so today I wanted to continue to work on guessing, and then this is what I want to do. So first off, I want to validate guesses to make sure that they don't include already guessed tiles. And then I'm going to start gathering up lists of different users. And then I'm going to probably start downloading logos and things like that, and then maybe we'll try to actually put them on cards. Because I think yesterday I was a little, I guess, overwhelmed trying to decide what to do next, and I think the easiest thing will be just to start from the beginning and kind of just build features on as we go. Because we already have like the base game made, so the first thing we need to do is actually turn these cubes into actual cards, because that is pretty important. Alright, so but first let's go ahead and fix the guessing right now, because right now if you guess if you include a tile that's already been revealed in your guess, the game will not throw that one away. So even though we already know it's not actually going to yield any results, so if I did something like so, and then you could guess again A1, C1. I'm not sure. Yeah, the game correctly says it's not a match, but really there's no reason for the game to even consider that as a possible guess. That is a little bit interesting, because what happens... Oh, well, no, okay, never mind. I was getting the way... I was gonna say, what happens if we try to pick a guess, but we find out that we don't have any valid guesses, but that can't actually happen. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the guess timer starter... Yeah, it waits until we have a verified guess before the timer starts. So whenever the timer starts, we know we have at least one good guess. So anyway, in other words, there's no way that the game could ever get to the point where it tries to pick a guess to reveal if there's not, and there's no guesses that it could choose from. But let's... So this verifier is where it picks out guesses, and yeah, it's kind of a big class. So first what it does is it make sure that the tiles are actually inside the board, and then it removes duplicates, and then this sorts verified. Okay, so just so it's easier to deal with, and then here we remove duplicates. Like if we already have a validated guess from a certain user, we want to remove that guess and use the new one. Okay, so that's what this does, but basically we just need to insert something here where it will also check to see if a tile is already revealed before it passes on to further workers. So right now a revealed tile gets tagged on the entity. I think it's this tile pair guest. We can actually just look. I should probably just leave the game running for now, so we can look at the entity structure. If I guess A1B1. Alright, and so we have two tiles that have the tile pair guest component. So in order to get a list of correctly revealed tiles, I would just need to find all the entities that have that component attached. So yeah, let's clean this up a little bit. Oh yeah, I don't need to use persistent queues and lists either, so I think while I'm dealing with this, I might as well clean up this code. Because this was before Unity had created that asynchronous dispose function, which is really nice. And so now all of these can be temporary. And so the validated guesses can be destroyed after this. Oh yeah, so we used to try to like split these dependencies up. Parallel destroy queue, okay. I think I can simplify this by just rename this to, yeah, because before I think I remember I was going to try to do something like change it so that like some of these jobs could run at the same time, but actually they all need to run in sequence. So just simplify this code a bit. Alright, so anyway, what I was trying to see is when I can dispose of these various data structures. So this one needs to be disposed of, yeah, after this worker. And then destroy queue can be disposed of after this worker. There we go. And then tag queue can be disposed here. Okay, so anyway, what I need to do now is I need to get a list of all previously guessed tiles. Does it need to be public? So entity query. This will be revealed tiles query. It will be something like this one. We'll want to get anything that's a tile position, and then it also has revealed. Was it tile revealed or what? Oh, the entity debugger is empty. It would make sense if it was this one, but I'm not sure. Oh, well, no, the tile revealed is when it's, like, shown. So, tile guest. Oh, yeah, tile pair guest is what it was. So I guess technically it would be revealed, but tiles are also revealed temporarily during the reveal phase, so I think this is more accurate to use. Okay, so then we would get an array of all the tile positions. I'll just call it reveal tiles, so that makes sense in terms of this system. So out are revealed tile query handle. Alright, so we need to pass this to the valid filter worker. So these are revealed tiles. And okay, so we pass that through here. Okay, and then I need to... Why is it not like that? I was gonna say I need to make sure that it waits for this query to be filled out. Did I use native array tile position? Should be right. And then okay, this should be to component data array tile position. Okay, there we go. Also, again, I want to get rid of all these deallocate on job completion because I think that Unity is going to deprecate them. So boards. Oh yeah, boards we just disposed there. New guest data. We need that here. I could just not be fancy and dispose of them all at the end, but the new guest entities needs to go here. Old guest data and old guest entities. And then the revealed tiles can be disposed of right here. Alright, and then I need to delete these deallocate on job completion tags. Okay. So now we finished all the data management. And so now here are, just whenever we have a tile, I need to look and see if it's included in this list. And I think I'm just going to do it the really simple way for now. Private bool is already revealed. And we'll just look through the native array to see. We can try to speed this up later. We could make it into like a dictionary lookup or something. So if revealed tiles t, why did it do that? Position equals position, then we'd return true. Otherwise we'll return false. And I think that's about it. Oh, obviously I needed to deal with this. So here we see if a tile is valid. I should break this up a little bit. Because this is valid basically just tells us if the board, if it's like in the board, and then this tells us that it's a guess with different tiles. So bool different tiles. Let's change this to is in board. And then the last thing we need to know is already revealed, or I guess actually want to know is not revealed. Okay. Oh yeah, so I gotta do it for both of them actually. So it'd be is already revealed or is already revealed tile 2 is false. Which means that both of them were false. And I know I could just use the not or this exclamation point, but I find that it's kind of hard or easy to miss that, so I like to do the equals equals false. I've seen people say that that's like bad coding style, but I don't know, it's easier for me to read, so. Is not revealed. Okay, so we want the guess to be kept if it's in the board and it's for different tiles and it's not revealed, so I think that's fine. Alright, so now I think we're ready to test it. Alright, so let's just test a few things. I'm gonna test E1, A1, and C. Yeah, that should be outside the board. So yeah, it didn't even get added. And then I guess A1 is invalid, so that's good. Alright, so A1, B1 went through. Okay, now if I guess A1, C1, again it shouldn't go through and it doesn't. Okay, so that's good. I think, I don't know, in the final game we might want to like have feedback if somebody guesses something that's not valid, but I think it'll be fine for now. Okay. So that's all done. Alright, so now let's move on to the kind of bigger project to have prettier card tiles, and I think the most important thing for that is probably to download user logos. So let's work on getting the logos, and then I'll have to think about how I'll actually display them, because they'll need to be on some kind of mesh, but I guess it will just be a card. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. So yeah, because I'll need to think about also performance. We'll probably want to be able to combine, because okay, so this board has 16, so it'll have 8 pictures. So it might be nice if we could combine this all into one texture, but I'm probably getting ahead of myself. First we need to, so in order to download logos we have to categorize these users. Specifically, we just need to get a list of users that we could possibly download a logo for. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear a dog barking, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so like here I have Yeah, choosing tile images. So it wants to use user logos. There'll be two groups. Yeah, priority group and a backup group, and each group could be configured. For now, I'm just going to have probably followers as priority. Each icon group will be configured, blah blah blah. Can contain icons from any user group. Yeah, besides anyone that's been blacklisted or banned, and then they're joined together. Yeah, I kind of want to do this. I can choose exclude users with like a default icon, because I think one thing I was worried about is if two users had the same logo, the game couldn't really detect that easily. But I'm not sure how the game can also tell if a user has a default icon, so I'll need to look into that. Yeah, not sure if it's possible. Okay. Yeah, because I kind of want the game to somehow be able to know if users have the same picture. Which I guess I could look like in the pixel data. Which I guess maybe I'll have to do. Maybe I can like feed the image through like a hash code and then compare the hash code. I'm not sure about that. And then anyway, I think also the user will be able to provide images. Then the algorithm will choose images. Okay, we already implemented this. Or we kind of did. I think right now, let me see. So we have the tile pairer. It just looks through a list of images. So right now there's no like priority. Yeah, so it just looks through a list of possible images and then adds things. So we'll have to add the possibility of priority. Okay, so I guess right now I just need to get various lists of users and add them into the database. So I was reading, and right now there's not an easy way to get a list of viewers, which to me is kind of strange. But what you have to do is on TwitchLib, which is a C# implementation of Twitch's API. You have to use this undocumented function, which I think means undocumented on Twitch, where you can get chatters, which basically gets a list of viewers that are in chat. I think that is the best way that we can do it. The problem with this also is that it's not very up to date. So what you kind of have to do is you get the chatters. Yeah, here, so we're maintaining a list of viewers. Yeah, it's not up to date. The list of viewers also only includes usernames and not user IDs. So you have to call another function to get specific users' IDs from their username. Which I think that usernames... Oh, no, they are unique on Twitch, I think. It's just they can change. So, but yeah, we just want to get a user by name, and then we can tie that to its ID. Yeah, and then it's this warning that you don't want to use that every frame, but we'll only need to do this if we notice that there's new users in the viewers list when we need to actually know about the viewer list, which would be when we try to choose logos. Okay, so basically, let's think about this a bit. So Yeah, picking user logos. So the first thing we need to do is update all of the different user lists. Which, well, I mean, we only have to get, whenever the game starts up, or the executable starts up, it will need to get like a list of followers and subscribers, and from there it can actually keep the list up to date based on events. So we don't have to download that every time. So yeah, let's see. Game start up. Download follower list, and then download subscriber list, and then we'd also want to import any user defined images and import user whitelist and blacklist. Okay, and then I want to, because to me a game is like one iteration of the card game as opposed to the executable, so I guess this will be the program starts up. And then game restart phase, we'll want to download the viewer list, because we well, let me see, isn't there like an event for new and old viewers? So we might actually only have to download the viewer list at the beginning. Yeah, because it has to deal with a list of users you can get back from Twitch not always being too up to date. You can listen for on user join and user left events. So probably when the game starts up, it would get chatters, and then it would use these events. Okay, so we want to download viewers list, which is get chatters asynchronous, and then we'll need to turn our get user IDs from usernames. And I wonder, I don't know if the follower list and subscriber list returns usernames or user IDs. Okay, so pre-start phase. Yeah, so all these lists are going to be up to date. So all user lists are kept up to date with various events. Okay, so I guess, yeah, all this needs to happen like when the program starts up. So on the pre-start phase is when we would pick images to use, and then we'll have to download images and then create card meshes, etc. Okay, so I guess this is probably what we'd be doing now. Okay, so one thing, if the streamer starts up the program when they're not I was gonna say, if the streamer starts out the program when they're not live, with that, I wonder how that will work with get chatters asynchronous, because I might have to wait to do this when the stream is live. But I think I'll have to test that. Let's see. Test what happens if the program is loaded when the stream is not live. So I'll probably have to do that sometime off stream. And specifically does get chatters async and the various events work. Probably, I mean, it might be better actually that the program just won't do anything. Like, because you can't really play the game if the stream isn't live. So, probably what should happen is... Yeah, okay, that also makes me think what happens when the game gets disconnected. Because if we get disconnected, it's possible you could get a subscriber or something when disconnected, and then we wouldn't get the event. Which, I mean, isn't like a huge deal. You could just restart the game, but... let me see. So... actually, what happens... This would be when streamer goes live is when we do this stuff. Oh, I think that'll work out fine. And then date with various events, and also re-download lists if disconnected at any time. Disconnected or the stream stops. Yeah. When live and online again. Okay. I think, yeah, so that is the gist of it. So, okay, this tells me that I need a startup phase that just runs once, and this is when we do things like download stuff, or not download, I guess, import things from the streamer's hard drive. And then we'd also, like, I guess, import settings, but that doesn't really have much to do with this logo thing. And then the game just kind of sits around. Maybe the user could tweak settings or whatever until the streamer goes live, and then we download viewers and all this stuff. Then I also need to be able to redo this when live and online again. If it gets disconnected or the streamer stops the stream and then restarts. So probably, I mean, if we get disconnected, maybe the game should just restart the whole thing. That would make things a lot easier for me because I wouldn't have to worry about the game state if I'm working when it reconnects. But at the same time, I don't know if I really need to, because the only thing that really changes when we reconnect is the user databases might get updated. And as long as I keep the same user IDs on the entities, they can just point to the new list or entry in the list, which probably is okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then oh yeah, so component wise, I think we figured out that the users probably won't actually be stored as a pure entity. Although it would be kind of nice. It's going to be easier if I just store these as like a native array. Because I'm going to need to be able to access information about the users from outside the entity system. And I'll want to be able to tie the users or access the user by ID. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, once we create the users, what would happen is basically they could follow, which would mean that user would get like a follower component, or they could subscribe, which the user would get a subscribe component. And then they might stop viewing, which then we would just remove them from the list, I think. Because we could do something like I guess the only problem actually, yeah, a native array is going to be a real pain to use because whenever new users are created, we're going to have to get a bigger array. So I think, yeah, now that I think about it, entities would be way simpler. So, yeah, I think we'll just need to make it work somehow. And whenever we have to access the entities, we'll just have to loop through the entire list. But, I mean, hopefully, really we're not going to be able or need to do that too often. Just when a state changes for a user, or when users get score, and we really only care about the state changes for users when we choose logos on the next round, so we could kind of just keep all of those state changes in memory until the next round of the game starts, and then we can batch them all together. Okay. I think that will work. So basically a user will have an entity if it's a viewer, a subscriber, or a follower. Which is fine. Okay, I will just go with this. Okay, so this will have a user ID. Oops. This should be an integer. Alright. So, okay, we need to do the startup part. But we really don't deal with it right now, but okay, so we have a so yeah, phase create board, okay, and then the pregame start. So we don't really have any phases for outside of the gameplay yet. Oops, I'll click on that. Public struct phase initial load, and then we'll have public struct phase wait for stream active. And then we'll have, well, these aren't really phases, really, are actually because they can, well, no, they can still, yeah, I'm still trying to get used to thinking of these phases as an entity instead of as like discrete gameplay periods, because like I can have more than one phase active at the same time. So basically this initial load will, yeah, we can have that up, and then we'll have another public struct phase no game, which I guess will be when there's no game currently played. And these will be like for the actual, like, I guess the game part of it. And then these other phases will be for downloading the user data. So user database management phases. So let's say, oops, I copied and pasted the wrong thing, but that's all right. Maybe I'll put a different tag on the beginning, at the beginning, yeah, I said it right the first time. So user database phase, wait, active. That makes, wait for stream active. And then we'll have submit, or I guess it'll actually be wait for requests, and this is where we would submit the request to Twitch and wait for them to get back. Okay. And then we'll have public struct user database phase, yeah, events, or I guess watch events, which is just the whole rest of the game when we're just watching for specific events from Twitch. I don't know if I need to have a specific structure for disconnected, because I think all that would happen is we would switch to this phase and then go back through again. Yeah, this is I kind of think I need to separate this file out because there's starting to be a lot of components in it. But anyway, so this board creator mono behavior. Oh wait, no, that's the system. Oh, I'm surprised that I don't have an issue here. I guess they're in different namespaces, but so this board creator mono behavior is really what starts the game up. So this should actually be phase initial load, and then we'll basically just have a dummy system that immediately switches to the next phase because we don't have initial, like we don't do anything on the initial load right now. Because what it's supposed to do is import settings and basically just imports things from the hard drive, but we're not going to do that right now. So yeah, then it would go to phase no game, and we'll be just going to wait until we press a start game button or something. Alright, but I guess we'll be good and create a phase setup and a phase exit component for the phase initial load setup. And I guess right away we'll want to delete incoming guesses, so I'll leave that there. Yeah, we don't want to do either of those other two at the moment. And then we'll have phase exit. I'm just gonna call it like dummy initial load watcher, which is going to wait 1 frame and then update to the next phase. Phase transition system group. And then it's the phase helper transition from initial load to phase no game. Oh, and I gotta pass it the buffer. Equals world get or create system phase transition command buffer system. Okay, and then we'll need one more for the no game, but I guess we have to wait for like a button to be pressed, so we don't have that yet. Oh, I spelled load wrong there. Okay, so what this does is this sets up the phase no game. And again, we want to delete the incoming guesses, so we can leave that there. I think that's it. Basically, it will just turn on a specific button on the UI. Okay, so but let's see if the game reaches that correctly. So now when we press play, the board shouldn't even be created yet. And yeah, we're at phase no game, which is what I was hoping for. Alright, so now let's just create something on the UI, a little button. Backwards. Okay. So I'll leave that command there because, I mean, we should be able to test entering commands in a chat at any time. Let's see. So game object. Oh, yeah, UI is what I wanted. Oh, okay. I was using TextMesh Pro. Yeah, there was a weird bug I had in one of my other projects that TextMesh Pro. Oh yeah, it wasn't updating correctly, but it's more because I was trying to use the faster play mode option, which isn't completely supported yet. Alright, so let's move this. And add a UI panel. Oh, it's not. Let's do it this way. UI create panel. And this will just kind of be in the middle of the screen for now until we make it prettier. This will be 512 by 200, something like that. I don't have to get super fancy. Actually, the button can probably just be centered. And then the text will be start game. Maybe we should have some other text here that would... Well, we'll probably want to have like a stream health up here. Indicator that tells if the stream is online or offline. Maybe how many viewers, but let's not worry about that yet. Yeah, I was thinking about how we're going to get the text to be updated when the stream goes online, but I was kind of thinking about it the old way, where you would have the game tell the UI what to do, but I like to actually have the UI figure out what it wants to do itself. This is no game button panel. So this will be, I don't know, stream status text. And this will be start game button. Okay, so what I mean by that is I want the UI's class to be able to tell, like it will hook into the entity system itself and see if the game is online and update it that way instead of relying on the game code to tell it when the stream is online. Alright, and so I want it to be centered. Stream offline. Also, right now it's hard coded to work with my stream, which I think is okay. But we will want to fix that at some point. Okay, so this tells me that obviously I'm going to need some way to tell when the stream is offline. So, is there a way to do that? I'm sure there is. because I've done it in another project of mine just by myself. I mean, in other words, not using TwitchLib. Let's see. Streams. Get stream by user. Stream summary. Let's see, it's not very descriptive about how this works. But I would assume stream by user. What does this have? Oh, doesn't even really tell you. Channel. Using the date of channel creation. Stream type. Okay, so maybe I can get if a stream is live using the stream type. I don't know. I just looked up the API for users and not this, but which API? Broadcaster online. Okay. Which API? Blah blah. Okay, so it seems like it's Twitch API Broadcaster Online and the channel name according to that, but I didn't see that function on the API here. Maybe it's events unauthorized. Nope. Oh, this is telling me namespace, not the actual thing. Channels. The channel based on specified. Okay, we don't really need that. Or maybe broadcaster language created at display name, language, status. I don't know. Broadcaster type, partner affiliate, blah blah. Okay, I know. Yeah, maybe I just need to look at the actual Twitch reference. API. You don't need to go through some form. Okay. Yeah, this is. Yeah, so let's look at the official API. because I think that the Twitch lib kind of just returns the information in the same way. Good stream. Games. Information about active streams. Okay, so if you got active stream, okay, so this is telling you want the first 20 active streams, which is not super. Return streams broadcast by one or more specific user IDs. Which I guess would work, but where's the information about just the channel? This is where I was just a second ago. Oops. Games. Information. Okay, get the information about active streams. Order by number of current viewers, descending order, blah blah blah. The response. Okay. Stream metadata. Oh, okay, well it's specific games. Tags. Get information about users. Okay, so I guess it is the streams. It's gonna be hard for me to test without going offline, so I guess I'll have to test it myself later. But if I look here, we have class list. So it does have, I mean, it has the separate channels, but it doesn't show up. I wonder if I should be using Helix or V5. Okay, it looks like Helix is the newest one, so hopefully that will be the one supported longer. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. So if I want to look at streams, so get streams asynchronous. Okay. So I can tell it, give it a list of user IDs, and it would just be the user ID for the specific streamer, which would be NetBanks Games for me. Okay, I guess that's how you're supposed to do it. Alright. So I guess, let's create a new folder, or I guess a new item of components. That will just be for, I don't know, Twitch components. And this will be a stream online. I guess it's technically a state component, but I kind of want to keep this separate because it's not part of the game state. Okay, so if this exists, then that UI will enable the button, otherwise it won't. Okay. So this will just be a mono behavior, and this will be the no game panel manager. And this will take text, Mesh Pro, text, This will be the online status text, and then we'll have private button. Oh, I guess this is the normal button, but then with a Text Mesh Pro text on it. In fact, I think I'm using that. I guess this is the start game button. Let's be a little bit more descriptive. Okay, and then on awake, we want to disable that start game button and set the online status text to secret. Oh yeah, I'm not using the right namespace yet. Streamer username, which is hard-coded for now, but we can always change it, is offline. Okay, and so at some point when this changes, we'll want to set it to be online. So we'll need to have a system to do that. Public. I'm just gonna put this in the same file. No game panel. Stream online watcher is a component system. Oh, I forgot the class keyword. That's why it's getting confused. And this will be update in group. I guess presentation. Oh, yeah, and I forgot the type of keyword there. Okay, so really what I need to do is look at when that stream online tag exists or doesn't exist. So I think the easiest way to do that is just to have a query and then we check to see. I mean, there's probably a better way to do this. Like we could use an event system. But I think this will be okay for now. Online query. Alright, let's not do that yet. So online query equals get entity query type of stream online. I thought that's what I called it. Oh. Yeah, that was using the wrong namespace, so I wanted to fix that quick before it caused an issue. Yeah, using events would be a lot simpler, but I think since this is just kind of a test thing, I'm going to be really messy with this. You're not ever supposed to have state information in a system, but so cool is online now equals online query dot count greater than 0. And then if last online does not equal is online. Oh, why is it not like that? Oh, this is a function. Then we'll want to public void set online status. It'd be better if I could do this with some kind of event system. But yeah, maybe we'll work on, well, we'll definitely work on that when we make this more of a production ready. Okay, and then on awake we'll just say set online status to false. Okay, and then when we are online, I want to update this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna test this, which obviously it's just gonna say it's offline because we don't have anything that checks if the stream is online or offline. Okay, and I'll give this a reference to the different objects it needs. Right now if we play, nothing will actually happen. Well, it'll probably say Neb makes games is offline, and then this button will be grayed out. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so now we need to do the actual system that checks to see if the stream is online and then updates that component. So I need to create the Twitch API. It would probably be easiest if I just did it on the system. Okay, and so this will be another one that just doesn't ever update, but just sets up something. So I had the. It's gotta think for a bit. Yeah, so I had this creation test. I kind of want to just copy this over. And then I think I'll just deposit this into the GameLogic database. I think that will be fine. I mean, you don't have to... Yeah, you don't have to ever... yeah, dispose of it, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now I can have some other system that will check to see if the stream is online or offline. I know it does have this pub sub, which I think is like a listening. Yeah, so it has this on stream up and down. Which will give me an event when the stream goes online. which will probably be useful too. Seems pretty simple. But unfortunately I can't really test it while I'm actually streaming, so I'll need to do that later. What is on listen response? Okay. Yeah, I don't really know much about web development, so it probably is just like some kind of, maybe the on listen response tells you about all the different events you might want. I want to get the actual class. Okay, this is like a way to get events as well. Alright, I probably shouldn't be researching about this on stream. Let's just, yeah, because I can't even test it while I'm streaming because I can't just like go on and offline randomly. So let's just do the simple system. Right. So what I want to do is use the streams, Helix, get streams asynchronous, and then I would pass a bunch of stuff I'd want. Yeah, it takes a ton of different. I wonder, can I just say user IDs? Yeah, so I don't have to give it all the, okay, yeah, that's probably what I want to do. Alright, so let's just leave this here. I'll have another system that will do that. So current system. Watch, stream, online. Oh wait, I guess it'd be stream, online, status, watcher. And so this will use a combination of the API and the PubSub. Whenever I learn about that, to get the different, or basically always be able to tell if a stream is online or not. Why did I not like that? Okay, and then we can get the APIs here, equals get, or wait, it's the game logic database, get API. Okay, and then, well, I guess this also has like a certain type of asynchronous to it. Because it needs to give a request, so we kind of need to know if we've sent a request or not. I'm not sure how clean I want to deal with this, because we can't really store this in an entity. So I guess we'll just use the GameLogic database for this. Oops, I need to put class twice. So this would be Twitch API request. I could make it like generic, but no, that seems kind of no reason to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because we want this to, when the game first starts up, we'll send this to see if we're online, but then after that we want to use the events. Or maybe we can just use the events from the start. Probably how they want you to do it, but I haven't researched that. Okay, well, we'll just do it this way. Public class. Well, let's just hard code it actually to make sure it works, and then I'll try to make it more clean. First run. Yeah, this is going to be not the best way to handle it, but... And then what does... Let's see. So if first run, then we'll want to call that API. Okay, and also seems like, yeah, we only have my username and the secrets, not my, or do my secrets. Yeah, we just have my username and not my actual client ID, which we'd rather have for this. But I think I have my ID. Yeah, I can't open up the secrets folder to add that on stream, so... But I think I already have the ID saved here, which... I guess we'll just have to hard code even more into it at the moment. So user IDs equals new list string. And then we'll pass that to the Twitch APIs. And what does this return? It returns... Oh, I wanted to see. Returns a task. So this would be the I guess stream async. Is there a way I can like schedule a callback? I think it had that. APIs. How did it work before? Yeah, we have the invoke. That's what I wanted to see. That way I don't have to deal with the threading task. And then what that does is when it's finished, it does a callback. I think I just noticed that invoke asynchronous, and I wondered, does this invoke block? Like it won't run anymore until this is returned, that would be pretty bad. Okay, so this would be response and response streams 0 dot. Okay, so this started at tells when the stream went live, I think. What are the different types? Oops. Oh, we're gonna have many types. Oh, it's a string. Okay. We'll have to see what that does. Let's just debug print, I guess. Debug log print. Oh, yeah. Okay, stream info. Really, all I care about is the user ID, and then the type. And I guess start time. Alright, let's see what this gives us. Oh yeah, I need to set first run to false so it won't call this again, and then I need to set first run to true here. Okay, so again, this is really dirty, so I'll need to try and clean it up later, but brain is a bit fried at the moment. So we'll probably see if this works, and then I think I might call the stream just because yeah, my voice is starting to give out a bit. Oh yeah, so console. Okay, so it does say live, which is what I was hoping for, and then okay, is that the start time? I guess it's at a different time zone, but yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. Alright, so I can tell if a user, well, basically I can know if it's live if we get a response back, probably. Alright, well, that was good, so I'm glad that we got that done. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. So thanks everybody for coming by and watching. Sorry for the kinda sick stream, but I wanted to at least do something. So we got some work done today, mostly trying to figure out how to proceed, and I'll look into that pub sub and maybe test some of it, so on the next stream I'll have figured out how that worked, so we'll know for future reference. But yeah, I guess I'll well, tomorrow and Friday I might not be able to stream. One, because of my throat, but two, because I'm gonna having plumbers over, and I'm sure they're supposed to be here like all day because we're having to like get pretty much all the pipes replaced, and I don't know how long they'll be here and also how loud they'll be, but I'll just play it by ear for the rest of the week. But I'll definitely be back Monday, and we'll probably continue on this project. So yeah, I hope you have yeah, maybe a great weekend if I don't see you before then, and for sure a good night tonight. And see you later and have a great night. Bye bye.